Wilt Chamberlain did not score 100 points. He probably is one of the best to play in the era, but there is no shot he scored 100 points. Welcome back to the dojo. What's going on? How we doing, boss?
I'm great. It's good to be back. Happy Monday.
It's good to be back. Just got back from the Corpus Christi trip. Seems that we never come back failures from that trip. Every time we go there, that team seems to just do something miraculous.
I know. I'm hyped they covered for you. It was not looking good there down the stretch, and then they clutched up.
I don't know if you watched the game at all, like if there was a stream. I don't even know if they streamed that game.
I don't think so.
But they were down, I think it was 5 going into the half. And there's a man on Northwest State by the name of DeMarcus Sharp. And he dropped 40 points.
Really?
He had more than half his team's points.
Jesus.
40 points. It was an incredible display. I've never seen anything like it. But the funniest part was we were sitting there, we made a little prize picks entry. And
they had prize picks up for no way.
Yeah, so I had the kid Travion Tennyson on Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and in my little vlog that I posted on TikTok of like the game, when he hits that corner three, there was like 40 seconds left and that covered his prize picks.
Wow.
But the funniest part was that for the bit, Lauren was like, I'm going to take the under of like Northwest State's, like the only player they put up of Northwest State.
No.
And it happened to be DeMarcus Sharp. So we're like sitting there and Lauren, and like he's got 14 points in the first like 5 minutes. And we're like sitting there. His over was 17.5. And we're sitting there and Lauren's like, I should have never taken that under. And I didn't know what she was talking about at first. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, and she was like, don't worry about it. I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, my prize picks is cake. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I took someone's under on Northwest State. And I look up at Northwest State's like the little like box score. There's only one guy with points on the team, and he's got 14 already in the first 5 minutes. So that was a geek and a half. His under went over in like the first like 10 minutes.
That's hilarious.
Brutal. But she did get her coins back. She made like a late night 2-piece and it smacked in the mouth.
That's huge.
But yeah, it was a good trip. Corpus Christi's gorgeous.
What was the vibe at halftime? Down 5.
Oh my God, Laura and I were looking at each other like, yo, this was the freest plus 5.5 ever. Like, they're going to lose outright. We were like, yo, this was we literally looked at each other and we were like, we should have nuked Northwest State. Like, they're going to win outright by a lot. Because the first half, Texas A&M looked terrible. They like don't run an offense. It's like so weird. If you ever watch Corpus Christi play, they don't run an offense. It's like inbound the ball if it's not off like a turnover or a rebound. And you just run and someone tries to like one-on-one and then it's like a dish, one-on-one, dish, one. Like, there's no plays. And we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this kid DeMarcus Sharp is coming down the floor scoring the ball every single time. And, like, we don't run an offense. So we're, like, fucking shocked. Yeah, dude, he's incredible. But he was on, what we didn't realize, he was on that Missouri State team last year. I don't know if you bet college basketball up, but that team last year was a fucking wagon. He was, like, their second best player behind Isaiah Mosley, who went to Mizzou. So we were like, I was looking into it. I was like, who is this DeMarcus Sharp guy? Because Laura and I were like, I mean,
he's got to be somebody.
We were like, he might be able to get burned at like Texas. Like, this kid's nuts. And we like look him up, and of course he's on like the most iconic Missouri State team of all time. So I was like, but I think he followed the coach from that team to Northwest State. So
interesting.
They also Northwest State had that kid with one arm.
Oh, really?
If you know that kid with the hoop mixtapes, yeah.
How'd he do?
Well, if you force him left, he can't do much. No, I'm just kidding. That was fucked up. Maybe we'll cut that in post. Maybe we could fix that in post.
Yeah, we should fix it.
No, you know what? Leave it. Why don't we leave that? No, I wanted to yell that so bad, dude, but I feel like it's fucked up. But I feel like you know it's coming. Like, I feel like you got to know that's coming. No, he didn't do anything. But he starts.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. He starts. But it is, I will say, though, I don't want to sound like an awful human being, but it is frustrating when, like, your team is down 5 and one of your guys has the ball and you're like, yo, this guy's one arm, just go at him. Like, I'm not trying to sound like an awful human being, but
that's pretty awful.
Like, when you have a lot of money on a team to cover and there's literally someone with one arm on the court and you're not like, just,
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Mikey's canceled by tomorrow.
I feel like this isn't cancelable. Is this cancelable, Nick?
Nah, you're not cancelable.
Like, this isn't cancelable. The kid's got one arm. Like, he's good. Obviously, he could probably beat me in basketball. No, he didn't score. He could probably beat me in a game of one-on-one. But, like, when I have a lot of money on the game and, like, we're down,
No.
What?
How much involvement did he have in the game?
Dude, he plays. He started. I think he had 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
They scored 75 points, and DeMarcus Sharp had 40 of them. So
Yeah,
It's
that's not the kid with one
insane.
arm though.
Yeah, no.
Do you imagine drop 40? I'd be like, dude, I'm
drop
done.
41 arm.
No, but I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but also, come on.
How are the beaches and shit?
They're sick.
Really?
I bet spring break there gets dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was sick. It was super cool. We stayed in a cool area. It was Aransas. What should have been a 6-hour drive turned into a 9-hour drive there because we were heading towards the ferry port. So that was a bit.
Why'd that add 3 hours?
Because you have to go down further and then across.
Why?
Instead of going over. Because instead of we were staying on the island of Corpus Christi, where you either take a bridge or you go down and you take the ferry across. And so yeah, we botched that. But I also came to the realization this weekend that our goat whale is dead.
Which one?
The one we made on the show.
NBA?
Yeah.
Why?
Luka hasn't scored a single 30-point game.
Oh, he hasn't even cashed his. Well, he's only played 2 games.
No, he's played 3.
3?
Yeah.
Fuck. Are you
28.
serious?
26, 18.
Damn.
Reeves has 2 games over 10 points.
I mean, you were chirping for that one.
Giddy has not even come close to a triple-double.
That's not true.
The closest he got was
He's had,
18 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Yeah, the assists have been the tough part to come around from him, but he's going to get it.
And it was always
Damian
Damian
Lillard.
Lillard.
Always.
Over a half 40-point game.
No, it was
a half.
It was not a half.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought it was a half.
No, that would have been a donkey. It was 2.5. Because, you think Tatum would be at 2.5 and Lillard at half? No.
I thought Lillard was at a half.
No. I think it actually was higher than 2.5, to be honest with you.
I think we're going to get if KD doesn't green out in the first 4 games he plays, I don't think we're going to get KD either. I don't know why. I just have this awful. But it's going to come down to Luka, dude. There's 22 games left and he hasn't done it yet, and we need over 15.5.
We're fine, bro. 30
We can only have 7 games where he doesn't score 30 points.
Dude, I watched that game yesterday. I don't know how I feel about the Mavs right now.
They're winning the chip.
They're not winning the chip.
No, they're winning the chip.
Dude, they just I feel like they kind of run the same offense that you just talked about with whatever team you just
Yeah, well, they got to figure it out.
There's no plays, just oh, Kyrie, you drive to the basket, see what you can get. Oh, Luka, you drive. Oh, Reggie Bullock's open for 3, sure.
Well, I think they just have to learn how to play with each other. That's going to be the big part. You have 2 isolation guys that need to learn how to play with each other.
Yeah.
They're going to figure it out. I'm not worried about it at all. I actually, well, first of all, I'll share the pod with a friend. But we are going to talk about my NCAA futures. You are going to have to lock in an NCAA future. And then I did want to talk NBA future as well because I did lock the Mavs in to win the chip.
That's a dono.
It's not, though.
It is a donation.
No, it's not, because all you need in this era of the NBA is a big 3. Luka, Kyrie,
And
sneaky Christian Wood. All you need.
that's not a big thing.
That is like a Chris Bosh third. All he does is sit in the paint, get rebounds, and he can score if he needs to. That's all I need. All I need.
Christian Wood is not Chris Bosh.
No, he's semi Chris Bosh.
Maybe half of what Chris Bosh is.
He's 3/4.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He's got an unbeatable mid-range. He's a good rebounder, good defender, and he just sits in the interior. That's all I need when I have Luka and Kyrie. What?
They're not winning the ship, especially after what I just watched last night in the Nuggets game.
The Nuggets played the Clippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nuggets are going to lose in the second round.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The Clippers, dude, they are the worst team to bet on. Never bet on the Clippers.
Well, the Clippers suck.
You'll just be mad by the end of the night. They suck.
So why are you giving more? I feel like there's more of the Clippers could be a surprise with Westbrook, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard.
Westbrook looks great, by the way. I love the fit. I was watching him last night against the Nuggets, and I'm like, he just feels comfortable. You can just see it on the floor. He's driving to the rack like I know he can do, that I never saw him do in the Lakers. You can just tell he's way more comfortable. He didn't play a single second in the fourth quarter and overtime, which I thought was kind of weird.
Why not?
I don't know.
Was he hurt?
No. They were just with the lineup they were using in the fourth quarter, Plumlee was like going off and like bringing them life, giving them so much energy and getting a bunch of second chance rebounds and shit. And they left Eric Gordon out there who did nothing. It was just the Kawhi and PG show. But they didn't, like, I literally had a fourth quarter prize picks with Westbrook in it, and it DMP'd because he didn't step foot on the floor.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say lost.
No.
I took his points over. He went over.
Yeah,
without playing in the fourth quarter. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. He looked great, though. It definitely was the right move for him. He just, like, feels way more comfortable, and, you know, it's not all on him if things don't go right. Where with the Lakers, things weren't going right. Everyone just was blasting Russ.
But now it kind of does look like it might have been Russ because the
now
Lakers look phenomenal.
They've won 4 games in a row.
The Lakers look phenomenal. Which, by the way, shout out Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he's
Who
a
would have
beast.
thought he was that good?
He's a beast.
But I feel like, you know what, though? I was thinking about this in the car. It really just depends where you play. Like, Jared Vanderbilt has been that good at defense probably his entire NBA career, but because he plays in Minnesota, he gets no shine. But now that he's in a big market like L.A., every, like, Bleacher Report and all these news stations are going to pick up on it. So I feel like there's probably so many guys in the NBA that are just as good, if not better, than Jared Vanderbilt, but they play for, like, a Sacramento Kings or an Oklahoma City Thunder, where, like, if they played for a Lakers Celtics, like, you're going to see how good they actually are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Lou Dort, bro. If he was on the Lakers,
Oh
like,
my.
everybody would know Lou Dort and his defense and his leadership.
Oh, my God, dude.
But he's on the Thunder, and they're pretty mid, so no one really pays attention to it.
It's, like, incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of annoying, too. It's like that big market bias almost a little bit, where it's like Jared Vanderbilt has been this good, I would assume, right? Like, there's no way you just become this good at defense. Like, he's been this good of a perimeter defender. I guarantee you on the Timberwolves, like, all Minnesota fans are probably like, yeah, no shit. This is what he does.
Yeah.
And it's like, now that he's on the Lakers, like, everyone and their mother is like, oh, Jared Vanderbilt's fucking sick. So it's like, I don't know. It kind of annoys you, but then I guess it's also, you know, that's why you want to play for a big market team, so you get, like, you know, that kind of shine. I'm sure his followers have gone up, you know.
Surely.
I'm sure that whole
You
bit's
know the
happened.
Bucks have won 14 in a row?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to win the NBA championship.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone, there's teams that people just, like, ignore because they're not a big market, and it's the Bucks. The Bucks get ignored in the East, even though they're so dominant. The Nuggets get ignored in the West because they're in Denver. And the Dallas Mavericks are going to win it all, and it doesn't matter. So,
No, it doesn't. No, they're not, bro.
dude, all you need is 3 studs and shooters. They have that.
They're not winning shit, dude.
3
Move on.
studs, Hardaway Jr.,
Move on.
Bullock, Josh Green, all coming off the bench.
They're going to be good, but not this year.
Well, they're losing Kyrie after this year, so it doesn't matter.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. Did you see him dap up LeBron? He's gone already. He's already out the door. He's got 2 feet out the door. Not even a foot. He's got 2 feet out the door. And now we're going to be screwed. I was talking to Nick about it in the car on the way back from Corpus Christi. Unless Kyrie and Luka become best friends, he's gone. Even if he likes the Mavs, he's gone. Because he's gone. He wants to play with LeBron. Like the Nets were like, fuck you, we're gonna send you to Dallas. And then he probably got to Dallas and was like, oh, this is actually pretty sick, but like he wants to play with LeBron. And LeBron's like, yo, you're coming. It's either him or Dame. One of them is gonna be on the Lakers next year, I guarantee you.
Dame with a 70 piece.
And you see LeBron tweeted about it?
No, what he
Put
said.
the little watch emoji on Twitter.
Well, I mean, that's his.
Like
that's,
Dame time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He tweeted about it. Could have not tweeted about it.
I mean,
I don't think he
that's
tweeted
like-
about Devin Booker dropping 70.
I don't think how many did Booker have?
70.
He had a 70 piece.
Yeah.
Because they like on ESPN last night, they were showing the list,
Yeah, it was like Booker, I think, has dropped
and
70.
he wasn't on there.
Are you sure?
I think it was 68. I think he dropped 68.
I'm going to look it up right now.
But Donovan Mitchell and dude, it's crazy. It's like
He scored 70 points in 2017 against the Celtics,
70 flat.
becoming the 6th player in NBA history.
Yeah. It's literally Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, another guy. I forget who his name is. Wilt, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker.
Devin Booker's the youngest to ever do it. Have you seen this? Have you seen the conspiracy theory that Wilt Chamberlain never dropped 100 points?
Yes, dude. I had this whole argument with Dave yesterday, bro.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Because I saw a very in-depth video about it
Yeah.
yesterday. There's no way he dropped 100.
I'm so glad you brought this up because he obviously scored 100 points.
I don't think so.
Yes, he did.
Dude, they only have the call from the fourth quarter. That's what fucked me up, dude. There's so many things in that it's like the one thing that fucked me up was them only having the call from the fourth quarter.
What's
and
wrong
it's like,
with that?
whoa. But you think about it, it could have been marketing.
Dude, you think they all just got all the fans, all the fucking players?
Dude, that for sure blew up the NBA. It's like, yeah, Wilt Chamberlain just scored 100 points. People are like, what? 100 points? What?
All right, guys, we're just gonna tell everybody that he scored 100 points, and we're all just gonna die with the lie.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they were like,
dude.
listen. No, it wasn't everybody. Dude, if you're playing in that game, if he's got 70 or 80, you don't know the difference.
Yeah, you
No,
do.
you don't. No, you don't.
You're crazy, bro.
No broadcast?
It was what, the 60s?
No broadcast?
It was the 60s.
No broadcast.
I mean,
Nick, can you look it up? I want all the facts on the table. I just like a bullet point of facts.
dude, he
'Cause I'm-
dropped 100 points.
I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but I don't think Wilt dropped 100 points.
And not shooting a single three-pointer and doing it.
That's absurd. That's a 50 layups. 50 layups. You'd have to go 50 for 50.
And apparently he was a terrible free throw shooter, and I think he shot like
Dude, like, I'm telling you, it gets worse.
90%.
No, he shot like 98%. He missed like one free throw, dude. I'm telling you, dude. He didn't score 100. Nick, do we have a bullet point?
he definitely scored 100.
I mean, I'm just pulling up. Like, there's so much information on it, but like, if you go to
There's like a short list. It's like there's no TV broadcast. There's only a call from the fourth quarter. There, he shot like 98%.
look up conspiracy theory bullet points.
Yeah, he shot like 98% from the free throw line. He didn't take a single three.
I mean,
No one from the game is a lot. No. What was like? There's another one that was like fucked me up. There's like
is
a
there
big
no
one.
one alive from the game?
No, it was like something other than that. It was like the broadcasters, something about the broadcasters. They only had the fourth quarter call though, which is crazy. And it's like Wilt Chamberlain.
Did you hear it?
No, but they're like, that's what the guy said.
Oh.
He was like, it's all Wilt.
I mean, how can you only have the fourth quarter broadcast?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they probably got to the fourth quarter and they were like,
Like, all right, guys, everyone, we're just gonna say he scored 100, so buy in.
yeah.
We need you to buy in.
No, they were probably like, all right, the fourth quarter he dropped like 30, and then we'll just be like, yeah, he scored 100, and we'll give him a little piece of paper.
No.
Dude, if you think about the marketing machine that is the United States, think about you're in this era. The NBA is a new league, doesn't have a lot of viewership. Put yourself there in that era. You see all over the news, Wilt Chamberlain scores 100 points. You're going to watch the next NBA game that he plays, or you're just going to watch the next NBA game in general. So they pick their best player. It's like picking KD and being like, at the time, being like, Kevin Durant scores 100 points. You're going to watch the next Kevin Durant game. He's going to have 40. You're going to be like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. Obviously, I'm not going to watch him score 100 again, but this guy's incredible. I'm going to keep watching the league.
What would be the equivalent of a 100-point game in the NFL? 10 touchdowns? I think more than that. Because we've seen 7 touchdowns.
It would be like Derrick Henry rushing for 500 yards.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this is unconscious.
Yeah.
Like, you literally cannot be stopped. Like, he's gone back and forth on a football field 5 times
I mean,
in this game.
I still can't really find like bullet points, but like he had 36 field goals made on 63 shots and made 28 free throws.
28 free throws. It was like the
Basically,
most
he's
he'd made before that was like 10.
Basically, he's just getting the ball every time down the court. They're just giving it to him. I mean, the game ended 169-147. So it's like
You're telling me? Come on.
He had 100 of those Johnsons.
100
Come
169. There's no defense played. It's like an NBA All-Star game today.
That's actually absurd. They never score that many points.
No. This is all fabricated.
No, it's not.
28 free throws.
It's like James Harden.
The most he made before that was like 8. He didn't score 100.
Yeah, he did.
No,
dude.
he didn't score 100.
Yes,
They just
did.
fabricated the free throw
I
part
fully
of it.
believe in the marketing machine that is the United States. I mean, you saw it on full display last night with the Jake Paul fight. I mean, if you don't think at least a little bit of that fight is like
Scripted.
Jake Paul lost, that's huge. Now they get a rematch. Now people can say it's not scripted. Logan Paul tweets out that he'll give away his fucking stake in Prime if Jake loses, and then retweets it and is like, who wants it, and then his business partner in Prime is like, oh, I beat the shit out of Tommy and Jake. Like, it's all a marketing machine.
Yeah, it's all set up. For
You
sure.
And
think
if you
the loss
think-
was set up?
100%.
Yeah, dude, that family,
I fucking lost so many units.
the Paul family does not do a single thing that is not to the T 100% planned at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's how they built everything. Everything. I mean, they're geniuses. They're marketing geniuses. Logan Paul goes viral because his brother lost and he's holding the bottle of Prime the whole time. His partner in Prime, after his brother loses his first fight ever, is on social media just going nuts, being like, I beat the shit out of Jake Paul. I beat the shit out of Tommy Fury. This is a joke. Like, if you think Prime's not sponsoring the next fight that Jake does, and if you think it's not going to be against KSI, like, dude, it's all fucking...
Low-key, fuck Jake Paul, though. Wilt scored 100 points.
No, Wilt didn't score 100
Yeah, he
points.
Well-
But I'll say I don't mind Jake Paul anymore. He's not a bad guy.
What's the equivalent in baseball? Like 10 home runs?
No, dude, it would have to be like, how many at bats do you get in a game, Nick?
You get at most like 5.
It would be like hitting 6 home runs in a game, I think.
Yeah.
Because you would go into extra innings.
It would
Yeah.
be like hitting a home run at every at bat,
In the first pitch.
and on the first pitch, and 2 of the home runs,
Our grand slam.
are grand slams. Yeah, that would be the equivalent. So like Wilt didn't score 100.
Yeah, he did.
And how
dude.
long were the quarters the same length?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're...
You're telling me he took 63 shots, scored 100 points with 20 free throws, and somehow everyone else on his team scored 60 more points? I just watched a kid score 40 points in a college game. No one else on his team was in double digits.
I mean, how do you know there were other guys on the floor with double digits?
Because it's 60 points. It's 169. Where's the 69 coming from? Do you have the box score from that game, Nick? I would love to hear the box score from that
How
game.
many assists did he
Yeah,
have?
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, if he didn't have a single assist, dude, he didn't score 100
Yeah,
points.
he did,
He
dude.
did not. Why are you so staunch that he scored 100?
I just find it so hard to believe that it's like a fucking Ellen show. Everyone has to buy into what's about to happen, and they know what's about to happen.
Okay, but think about Dame Lillard in an era where you can shoot threes, scores 71 points. And it's like, oh my God. Add 30 more, but take away threes. There's no way, dude.
They
I mean,
don't
the-
have assists listed. No assists listed.
Dude. There's no box score?
There's box score. There's box score. They just have
It's
You-
only his.
field goals made, field goals attempted, free throws made, three free throws attempted, and points.
Okay, well, how many field goals were attempted?
115.
And he had how many? 53?
He had 63.
63. So there was only 40 field goals attempted outside of his attempts, and there was 69 more points scored out of his 100. What is that math on that? 40 attempts to score 60 points, 69 points?
Yeah.
What is the math on that? It doesn't check out, dude. Whatever it is, it doesn't check out.
It checks out, bro.
Wilt Chamberlain did not score 100 points.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did.
I would believe it if it was Giannis in that era. I'd be like, all right, that checks out. He's also wearing like Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That, like, no.
And remember, he's playing dudes that are
Wait,
nowhere near.
were 3-pointers not a thing back
No.
then? Oh, okay. I was gonna say there was not a single 3 made.
Yeah.
No, that's why he didn't score 100. You're telling me off mid-range, dude, DeMar DeRozan would have 400 points in that era then. Mid-rangers? That's what he was shooting? Layups and mid-rangers?
Dude, yeah. He probably would because he was playing against fucking plumbers.
Dude, come on.
Like,
I think it's just a classic case of like there's really bad. Like they were really bad.
I think he
And there's
probably
a
had
couple really
85
good-
points, and they were like, we'll give him 15 more. I think he probably had a crazy game, but they were so bad at stat keeping that they were like, dude, you scored 100. And he was like, oh, shit, I scored 100.
like
You know what I'm saying?
100.
Yeah, there's no video evidence of the game either, and they videotaped like most games in that era. There's only photos.
He
Like,
scored
come
100.
on,
He scored
dude.
100, dude. Did Babe Ruth just not exist either?
Well, that's a good bit. Obviously, Babe Ruth existed.
I don't know. Honestly, an argument can be made.
All right. All right. I'm looking at Wilt right now in this era. There's no way he scored 100, dude.
Dude, yeah, he did.
Dude, there's no way. There's only one photo from the game too, like good bit, and it's in the locker room. Come on, people. Wilt Chamberlain did not score 100 points.
I think we should all come to an agreement though that we could just like take him not like off the history books.
Yeah, no, we could remove his stats. Like, there's no reason to still have.
But like,
his
it's
stats.
just so skewed, and it's like annoying to look at all the history and like, you know.
It's like frustrating when Dame Lillard scored 71 and like the hardest error to score in the NBA, and then it's like, well, Chamberlain did that 900 times. It's like, all right, like we get it, dude. Like what?
Like literally, the list is Wilt, Kobe, Wilt, Dame, Donovan Mitchell.
Like he just happened to be that big in an era that was like botted as shit. I also hate when people are like, yeah, like top 5 point guards of all time, Bob Cousy. Dude, the guy used one hand. The guy couldn't use his left hand. He's not a top 5 point guard just because he played in an era where they sucked at basketball. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like whoever said that probably wasn't watching him.
No, of
That's
course
what
not.
I
Like,
hate.
Bob Cousy on those Celtics teams was an absolute machine with the ball. He was a wizard passing. Dude, if you put Bob Cousy in front of me right now, I'd give him 40.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd give
Stop.
Bob Cousy 40, dude. Have you seen him dribble?
Yeah.
Have you seen Bob Cousy dribble? I guarantee you haven't. It looks like when you give that girl in middle school the basketball and her like back sticks out and she does this on. Dude, it's so bad. Hold on.
I mean,
Hold on. If I can get a video of Bob Cousy dribbling.
someone on Twitter yesterday had Damian Lillard's under, and it was really funny.
Bob Cousy highlights Mr. Basketball. I mean, this is Mr. Basketball. What'd you say?
I said someone on Twitter had a nuke on Dame's under, and it was just really funny.
As a youngster, it's weird when my peers don't respect the other eras. Good bit, YouTube comments.
Yeah,
Dude.
I just like,
Look at this shit, dude.
ew.
Well, if he ever uses his left hand, I'll give you $100.
Ew, dude. Why are you chirping this guy? Ew.
All he's doing is passing it.
That's his job.
Look.
Dude, I don't know what your point is here. You're showing me
Yo,
disgusting.
Bob Cousy's got dimes.
Yeah,
dude. I
you're
didn't know he
showing
was a
me
dimer like
disgusting
that.
Highlights.
Ew.
Yeah.
But he only uses his right hand. He's got no left.
And he's still absolutely diming him.
Okay, Bob Cousy might have been sick.
Yeah.
He's a dimer, dude.
Respect him, but Wilt dropped 100 points.
No, he has not. Wilt Chamberlain did not score 100 points. He probably is one of the best to play in the era, but there is no shot he scored 100 points.
You're full of shit.
There's just too much shit around it, dude. It's like if Damian Lillard just scored 71, and they were like, all you saw was the photo in the locker room, and they were like, oh, all we have is the call from the fourth quarter, and there was only one photo taken, and it's from the locker room, and he hit 12 threes and was 100% from the free throw line. And you were like, what? And the fourth quarter call is them being like, Damian Lillard was 69-71. And you were like, and then you were like, yeah, he for sure dropped 71. But you didn't see any of the game. They were like, yeah, it was a blackout in the area, so we couldn't watch the game. You'd be like, I don't think he scored 71. But you're going to sit here and be like, no, Wilt scored 100 points. He didn't. It was marketing. I guarantee it was marketing.
No.
It's like, we need viewers.
They weren't smart enough then, dude.
That's insane. Nick, where do you land on the topic? They weren't smart enough. That was probably the golden era of marketing. That was when they were like, cigarettes will make you breathe better. You think they wouldn't fly that Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points?
Conspiracy theories are fun, but they're bullshit.
So you think he scored 100?
He scored 100.
All right. Well, that makes me think he definitely didn't. Because if Nick believes it, there's no way. Let me see the era Wilt Chamberlain played basketball. Hold on.
Dude, it was like the 60s. 60s.
I'm telling you, bro. It's just like an NBA All-Star game. Everybody else on the floor sucked. There was like two guys that were good, and they just threw him the ball every freaking time, and they just did layups back and forth. Layup.
In Converse.
In Converse. There was
I
no
mean, you're making my point. You're literally making my point.
there's no defense.
Marketing in the 60s.
What? You're Googling that right now?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
No, because I
dude?
just want to show you that this was like the era where when you're like, oh my God.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, dude. This is the era where they were marketing ketchup bottles, and the marketing was, you mean women can open it? Like they didn't care, dude. This was the era of marketing where they just lied. They just lied, dude. They just lied.
Goated fucking slogan.
Now it's Pepsi for those who think young. If you think young, you're gonna like Pepsi. Like this was the era where they just lied, and they were like, "Yo, we're not getting viewers in the NBA. I bet Wilt can score 100 points in a night."
Oh, that's fucking
like you know it,
dude.
Look at this one, huh? Here we go. Hold on.
What do you mean?
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro County. The flavor in a cigarette. They just lied. They literally just lied. More doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. But yeah, Wilt scored 100 points. I fucking bet. I bet. Like what, dude? Like the marketing in this era, it was a marketing scheme, and that's okay.
Oh, that's too good, dude.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay, this will be the last one I read. If your husband ever finds out you're not store testing for fresher coffee, and it's literally a husband beating his wife for Chase and Sanborn coffee. Wow.
See that one?
Like, do you think they wouldn't lie about Wilt scoring 100, but they'll put like domestic abuse for a coffee company out there, dude? Come on. Wow, the 60s were fucked.
You mean a woman can open it?
And it's a ketchup bottle. Look, I'll show you the fucking, it's so fucked up. Look at this shit.
Let me see that.
Hold on. Here we go.
Regardless of this ad, bro, Wilt dropped 100.
Because they probably wanted housewives to buy the ketchup. And they probably wanted Americans to watch the NBA. And they were like, Wilt Chamberlain just scored 100 points. I guarantee you, man. You start looking into it, it's all marketing at the end of the day is what it is.
Honestly, that was a pretty good take. You have me feeling indifferent about
Yeah,
it.
with the marketing in that era, dude, there was probably a bunch of freaking bozos in the NBA marketing office that were like,
Let's just say that.
let's just say Wilt scored 100. He's averaging like 70. We'll just say, who's the worst team in the league? Is it the Sacramento Dingbats?
The Bullets?
Is it the Bullets? I bet he could score 100 on the Bullets. Just don't bring the cameras to that game. And they were like, yeah, all right, let's do it. We'll give him a piece of paper that says 100. We'll put it on the papers. They're big on the papers. Like, we'll put it in the papers. Get in the paper outs. People will watch next game. And I bet the marketing for the rest of the year was, come watch Wilt drop another 100. Or will Wilt repeat. Bet he never did. Did he have a multi-100-point game?
No. But he had games close. Yeah, he did. He had 80, he had 90, he had 75. Dude, go look at the list. Pull up the list.
Dude.
Pull up the list. Wilt's
I
on
gotta
there
pull up this list, dude.
Wilt's on there 5 times.
Wilt points.
It's crazy that he's up there with
He scored, okay.
Devin Booker.
70, 78, 78, 70, or 78, 73, 73, 72.
It was an average 70-point game, and they were like, just
70.
give him the 100.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, Kobe should be
81,
one.
yeah.
How many points do you think Wilt scored in his career? This is a fucking absurd number.
What did LeBron just have?
Just think about an average 4-year college career for a kid that's really good. They'll score 1,000 points, 2,000 points.
LeBron has more, right?
Yeah.
So 30,000.
31,414. In Converses with no 3-pointers. And he still didn't score 100 points. What team did he drop 100 against? In 48 minutes of work. Yeah, did he go on the bench? Or did he play the whole game? Because there's no way if he spent an ounce on the bench that he scored 100 points.
In that era, and everybody plays the whole game. There's no
48 minutes? Is that an
subs.
NBA game now? Was that an NBA game back then?
Yeah.
As the Philadelphia Warriors, he did it against the Knicks. Philly plays New York. 2 huge market teams. And he scores 100 points. There is no way.
Yeah.
And he got neck at half.
Yeah, he got neck at half.
He got a blowjob at halftime. Is that real? Can I get confirmation on the head at half?
You know he like literally there's a book about him fucking like over 30,000 chicks or some shit.
But head at half in the 100-point game, is that like confirmed?
No, that's not confirmed. We're just saying that. But
Because if he got head at head, there's no way he scored 100 points. That's why he's scoring 70. He probably got 50, goes in the locker room, fucking comes out empty and scores 20.
But no, he was laying pipe. He
Wow.
definitely laid pipe at half.
Of the 100-point game.
There's guys in like the early 60s of baseball that like say they would go in at the clubhouse and pipe like midway through the game.
Dude, I can't even unscrew a water bottle cap after, let alone play an athletic event. And you're telling me he
Fifth
scored
inning.
100 points after getting necked off at half? There's just
What do you
no
mean, dude? That would make-
way. If you were like, normally he got head at half, but against the Knicks,
He
the
didn't
girl
get-
he wanted to pull up didn't pull up, so he came out and he scored 100. I'd be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But if he got necked at half, no way he scored 100.
Dude, he was going home with like 5 chicks at the same time.
Was he actually?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's still a legend, but he just didn't score 100 points.
How
That's
did he
fine.
die? Like old age or? Yeah, Wilt's dead.
I don't know if he's dead.
Dude, have you ever seen Wilt Chamberlain?
No.
He's dead.
Did he even exist? Was he a real person? We need to start asking ourselves if Wilt even existed. You ask me that? I've never seen Wilt Chamberlain.
No, you haven't because he's not alive. He died in
He
99.
died of natural causes in 1999.
Wow. But somehow, never mind. I feel like that would have been. How did he not get an STD?
I don't know.
But Magic got AIDS?
He definitely.
Were they doing the same
he
shit though? Like that was the
definitely
same
was
behavior,
hiding
right?
some shit.
That was the same behavior though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Wow. That is a clean pipe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Successful.
It's just, yeah, I mean, Wilt, hey man, if like you want to go in a record book, that's when you could probably go in, dude.
No, he's definitely in the record books for that, for sure.
Of not getting one. Unless he probably
Of
did.
just the numbers he put up.
Yeah, wow. How do you think the numbers of points he put up in his career compares to the number of
Dude,
things
it's
he
probably
knocked
pretty
down?
close.
You think it's close?
It's probably pretty close. Dude, there were like.
You think
in
he's putting up like Drake numbers?
in
Like you
the
think
book-
Drake is getting close to that number?
I think Wilt has triple.
You think Wilt tripled it?
Yeah. Dude, Drake's like a.
Lover boy.
Yeah.
You think Future? He's knocking him down. I'm just trying to find like a modern day, like give me a number to look at. I'm just gonna Google it.
Look at Google the number. Like, just say how many chicks, how many girls did Wilt Chamberlain like have sex with? It'll pop up. Because it was somewhere in like the 20,000s.
This number is absurd.
What is it?
All right.
Is it 30?
Wilt Chamberlain. I just want everyone to know. He scored 31,000 points.
It was like on average, bro. The number was like that would be like 5 girls a day.
Wilt Chamberlain claimed to have slept with close to, if not more than, 20,000 women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wilt shared a story about how he was averaging 2.3 girls per day. What is the 0.3?
It's just the total average. It's like
Okay.
maybe some days he'd have 5, some days he'd have 1.
See your He was intimate with 23 different women on one 10-day road trip. Cause of death was heart failure. No shit. When you're just pumping away, dude, your heart's going to give out.
Yeah, he definitely dropped 100, bro. It was probably on that road trip.
Oh my God. This is dirty.
What?
Wilt is a dirty man.
Yeah.
Dude, so you're telling... Okay.
And he's like that.
Imagine scoring 31,000 points and sleeping with 20,000 girls. That is
That's a double
an
double.
unreal stat. They should put that in a stat line. Be like, fucking... Who's a single bachelor? I'm not going to try
That's
to throw
averaging
anyone
a
that
trip
was
dog.
married under... Who's like a single guy in the NBA?
A single guy in the NBA.
I mean, they're all getting chicken on the side, but... like, yeah, Jason... You did like a
he
Jason
single?
Tatum has slept with 5,000 girls. Wilt Chamberlain, 20,000. Like,
He's climbing up there.
dude, did they even have like modern condoms back then, or was he using like?
I think he was just raw dogging.
Wow, how many kids does he have?
That's
Mike's in deep on the
Yeah,
historical
dude.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Yo,
balls deep in this.
Yo!
conspiracy. What?
he's 20,000 and up. Never married or had any children.
What? Yeah,
There's for sure a kid out there
he
somewhere.
might have not been real. It sounds like some
Dude, if you think, okay, if you think in the 60s, raw dogging 20,000 women, he doesn't have a single kid, he didn't exist. I'm now under the assumption that Wilt never existed.
You should make a video about that for sure.
Like, I might. Like, there's no way this man was real.
Yeah, this would be a great TikTok theory. Conspiracy.
And you think about
theory.
multiple, he probably hit a couple multiple times. He's probably at 40,000.
Yeah.
Do you think he has had sexual intercourse more times than points he scored in the NBA?
No. I don't think he's off.
If he slept at 20,000, he scored 31,000. If he hits all of them twice, he's already over.
What if he was just a one and done guy? One and done. That's
His
the rule.
stamina, dude, for 20,000, he was probably pregame, halftime, end of game. Same girl.
Also morning, night.
Also with his orange juice at night,
Shoot around.
holy shit. Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like Genghis Khan. Wilt's DNA might just be all over the U.S. at this point.
It's so good.
If he was in every major city, we might all be
We might all be tied to Wilt.
descendants of Wilt.
There's a reason the NBA talent level is so much higher now.
Could you imagine, dude? What if they did a DNA test and 90% of the NBA was Wilt? They had a little bit of Wilt, just a little bit of
Still
Wilt.
in there.
What if they did?
It's like secretary. It's like a horse.
Yeah, what if they did?
He's got a horse cock.
He was, what do they call that in the horse community? A stud. He was the first stud for NBA talent.
Yeah.
They just carted him around every city, and he scored 70 and just laid pipe. That's absurd, dude. That is absurd. I don't think Wilt Chamberlain existed. All right, let's talk NCAA futures.
On that note,
I said I would give out my future bet for who I have winning the NCAA tournament. It's Kansas State.
I guessed it right.
Yeah, you did. I took Kansas State and I took Providence. Providence is more so homer, but I also think the way that Providence plays, we have a really good chance in the tournament. It also just depends on the matchup you get. But the reason why I'm picking Kansas State, and I'll kind of break it down for pretty much anyone that wants to know how I think about it. But when I think about who's going to win the NCAA tournament, I think there's a couple things that really matter when you're betting on teams, I think. One, the team with the better guards always comes out on top in March Madness. It's very rare you find a team that goes very, very deep with forward-heavy offense. So that's why teams like Iowa with Chris Murray, Indiana with Trace Jackson Davis, even Florida before Colin Castleton got hurt, and even teams like Houston who have a 3-4 center rotation scare me. Houston is a number one seed. They're really good. They're really dominant. But outside of Marcus Sasser, their guard play is really weak. It comes down to their big men. And when I think about, past NCAA winners, it always comes down to the guard play. RJ Davis and Caleb Love were unconscious last year, even though Brady Manick was really good. But they lost to who? Christian Braun and what was that other kid's name on Kansas?
Oh.
He had an odd name.
It's like Omike or some shit.
What is his name?
He's on the Jazz, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
are we talking about Anunoby?
Christian Braun and
No.
the kid that was on Kansas' shooting guard last year.
OG Anunoby?
No.
No.
What? Anunoby's been in the league for a
No,
decade.
but it sounds like that. That last name is like that. It's like Omike or some shit.
I'll find it.
But it was...
Last year's Kansas roster?
Yeah. Jazz, Kansas.
But they still lost to the better guards.
Yeah.
Caleb Love and RJ Davis were great. They had good forwards in Baycott and Brady Manick. But who'd they lose to? They lost to the better guards in Christian Braun and...
Oh, yeah. It's Agbaji.
Abaji. Yeah, Abaji. They lost to Christian Braun and Abaji. So the better guards always come out on top. Even when Kansas beat Providence, their guard play beat our guard play. That's why we lost. We had, Nate Watson, who is probably a top 10 center, couldn't, it doesn't matter when you have an interior presence if the guard plays better. It's about Kemba Walker, Peyton Siva. It always comes down to the guards. And my point is, when I get to this Kansas State roster, Marquise Noel is what moves the needle for me. He's one of these point guards that can drop 30. He can drop 40. And you need a guy like that in the NCAA tournament. And then outside of that, I love a stretch 3. So a guy that plays the 3 but is really probably small enough to be a shooting guard in the NBA, but is going to play a 3 in college, but it does it on both sides, and that's Keontae Johnson. He's got the ability to drop 30. He's got the ability to drop 40. But he'll give you 15, 20 a night, but he'll play really good defense on the other end, which I love. And then I need a long 4 or 5. And I can't remember the kid's name right now. It's losing me. But Kansas State has an excellent guy that plays the 4 that's super long. He could play center, but he plays the 4. Super hard to match up against. He's got a really great jumper. That's kind of the DNA that I look for in my teams when I'm picking who's going to either go really deep or who I'm going to bet on a lot. And that's why Kansas State is kind of like my favorite right now. I just love the way they play. I love their team makeup, especially going into March. And that's why I don't trust even teams like Gonzaga when you got to rely on a Drew Timme. Like it's going to come down to your guard play. It comes down to the guard play every single year.
For those watching, is this not the most surgical Mikey has sounded on this pod? Like, he does get his flowers in college b-ball. If you follow him on Twitter, he's fucking... You had a weekend, didn't you?
Dude, right now in the month of February, I'm
a month.
63-17.
That is Wilt Chamberlain, not real.
In straight bets. And Wilt still didn't score 100. No, but I mean, like, I think it's just because I grew up watching it, so it's like really the only thing that I'm like kind of passionate about in terms of like betting and like really understanding. Not that I don't understand the other sports.
I got people in my DMs bitching at me saying like, why don't you just tell Mikey, like, dude's fucking red hot.
Yeah, I get no love. You know, I'll go fucking a clean sweep, still no love. I'll wake up the next day and it'll be like, we're with the Sharps. Like, there's no Sharps in college basketball when you get to this point.
Yeah,
dude, but I just want everyone to know, Trent texted me on Friday or Saturday and said, I need nukes. And I said, Hawaii is on the island.
I did end up.
And he was like, you're not in your bag. I'll come back later. And then he came back later and I was like, USC money line and UNC Wilmington money line at plus chicken. I went 2-1,
Yeah.
and UNC Wilmington blew a 15-point lead with 3 minutes left.
They ended up losing that.
Yeah, they had a 15-point lead and they ended up losing. So I almost clean swept, like feeding Trent nukes on Saturday.
You're not in your bag. I'll come
Yeah,
back
you're like,
later.
you're not in your bag. I'll come back later. I was like, what? Like, that was literally so free. Hawaii was only minus 2.5. I was like,
Yeah.
you just take their money line like they're winning that game.
We took that.
It was against UC Irvine. That
Yeah.
shit was free.
Yeah.
It was air. You didn't even sniff it because I wasn't in my bag.
It was a little sweaty. No,
God,
we took
that's-
it. We
that's
took
incredible. That's incredible. No, but I think that's kind of what I look for in, you know, my March Madness winners. Just because, you know, when you look back at the tournament historically and everything like that, even you look at that Duke team that everyone thought was going to be free. Well, who was their best player? It was a small forward. It was Paolo. In the NBA, you can win with small forward. That's your best player. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard. But in college, it just doesn't work. You need really good, solid guard play to win a national championship. And I think that's what Kansas State has. And outside of Kansas State, you want to look at really strong guard play in that like top 10. There's really not many. Purdue, they're going to lose in the second round. You don't win with centers. There hasn't been a center since Anthony Davis that won an NCAA tournament by himself.
So out on Purdue, they can literally ligma. They suck.
But yeah, let's look right now. Kansas is another one that could be a really good shout to go back to back. Grady Dick is phenomenal. Jalen Wilson's phenomenal. Though that's the kind of DNA that wins it. Arizona, no shot. They're all big men. Baylor's one that I could see winning. Keontae George, even though he's a freshman, LJ Cryer, and Adam Flagler. That's really good guard depth. Connecticut, no shot. They run a 3-center rotation. Texas, Timmy Allen, Marcus Carr, I don't mind it, but no head coach, no shot. Tennessee, no way. Gonzaga, no way. Marquette could be a shout. They've got really good guard depth. But dude, you like Virginia, no way. Creighton, possibly. My dark horse right now, the Kentucky Wildcats. I keep tweeting about it. I've taken them the last 3 or 4 games. They have finally gelled, and this is a brand new Kentucky. So when you look at this Kentucky team coming into March, everything before February you need to ignore. I promise. Don't look at how they played quad 1 power 5s before the month of February because it does not matter. This is a brand new team. Brand new team. They just finally gelled this month. So Kentucky's another one I could see going on an insane run. They've got great depth. Oscar Tshiebwe is a good center, but their guard play, like Cason Wallace, is a kid that could play player of the year. So
I like the odds on Kentucky too.
I would look out for Kentucky. Yeah.
I feel like it's, even though this year is going to be an absolute shit show with nobody knowing who the fuck's going to come out and win, I still feel like it's going to be one of the, OG teams that's always there.
Like a blue blood, but the blue bloods suck this year. Kentucky could do it. I wouldn't mind Kentucky. All right, well, this episode's gone much longer than normal, but I feel like it was a good one. Make sure you guys share the pod with a friend. Next episode, we are going to talk. I'm going to make you pick your future for the NCAA. So just think about what I said and then pick a team. We're also going to lock in our NBA futures. Make sure you guys follow us on socials. Trent, tell them about the surgical stream, where they can find you.
Every weekday on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Central. Come give me your best bet of the day. We'll get surgical, cook up some goblins, make some coin. And follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Book It with Trent, and follow the rest of the gang at Book It Sports.
You guys can follow me, Mikey, over on Twitter, Michael.jovers on Instagram, Mikey over everywhere else. And since this episode will be dropping today, do not let anyone tell you to take Oklahoma State.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Baylor in Oklahoma State. Baylor's only -1.5.
Ooh.
But it's because they're missing their best guard, Keontae George, who is a freshman. But they have Adam Flagler and LJ Cryer, and everyone else is playing. And Oklahoma State is ass.
They suck.
So I will be nuking Baylor.
All right, noted.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Be seeing.